Welcome back for Numbers chapter 9. And real quick, today I dropped my daughter off at summer camp for a week. And driving home, I was just thinking about, we train and we learn all these things that God teaches us in His Word throughout all these years. And then at some point, becomes very real and we have to put it into application. And it just made me think in my own life, am I holding that true to myself? Am I, everything that we're going through, am I putting into practice? And it's important for us to reflect upon, and may we live out the words of God. Here we go. Verse 1. Thus the Lord spoke to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, in the first month of the second year after they had come out of the land of Egypt, saying, Now let the sons of Israel observe the Passover at its appointed time. On the 14th day of this month, at twilight, you shall observe it at its appointed time. You shall observe it according to all its statutes and according to all its ordinances. So Moses told the sons of Israel to observe the Passover. They observed the Passover in the first month, on the 14th day of the month, at twilight, in the wilderness of Sinai, according to all that the Lord had commanded Moses. So the sons of Israel did. But there were some men who were unclean because of the dead person, so that they could not observe Passover on that day. So they came before Moses and Aaron on that day. Those men said to him, Though we are unclean because of the dead person, why are we restrained from presenting the offering of the Lord at its appointed time among the sons of Israel? Moses therefore said to them, Wait, and I will listen to what the Lord will command concerning you. Here we see the wisdom of Moses waiting and seeking the Lord for guidance. Today, we can do the same by searching His Word, which includes events and examples that were included to teach us. We see this spelled out for us in 1 Corinthians chapter 10, where it states, Now these things happened to them as an example, and they were written for our instruction, upon whom the ends of the ages have come. That was a specific situation, but we can see that God will instruct us through the events that happen to others and are recorded in His Word, along with all the teachings of the prophets, the apostles, and Christ. And it's all there for our benefit. Okay, verse 9. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the sons of Israel, saying, If any one of you or of your generations becomes unclean because of a dead person, or is on a distant journey, he may, however, observe the Passover to the Lord. In the second month on the 14th day at twilight, they shall observe it. They shall eat it with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. So the unclean people had their own day set aside to present their offerings to God. Verse 12. They shall leave none of it until morning, nor break a bone of it. According to all the statute of the Passover, they shall observe it. Verse 13. But the man who is clean and is not on a journey, and yet neglects to observe the Passover, that person shall be cut off from his people, for he did not present the offering of the Lord at its appointed time. That man will bear his sin. If an alien sojourns among you and observes the Passover to the Lord, according to the statute of the Passover and according to its ordinance, so he shall do. You shall have one statute, both for the alien and for the native of the land. So even non-Israelites who wanted to be with them and their God could observe as long as they followed the rules. Verse 15. Now on the day that the tabernacle was erected, the cloud covered the tabernacle, the tent of the testimony, and in the evening it was like the appearance of fire over the tabernacle until morning. I personally would have loved to have seen that. Verse 16. So it was continuously. The cloud would cover it by day, and the appearance of fire by night. Whenever the cloud was lifted from over the tent, afterward the sons of Israel would then set out, and in the place where the cloud settled down, there the sons of Israel would camp. At the command of the Lord, the sons of Israel would set out, and at the command of the Lord they would camp. As long as the cloud settled over the tabernacle, they remained camped. Even when the cloud lingered over the tabernacle for many days, the sons of Israel would keep the Lord's charge and not set out. If sometimes the cloud remained a few days over the tabernacle, according to the command of the Lord they remained camped. Then, according to the command of the Lord, they set out. If sometimes the cloud remained from evening until morning, when the cloud was lifted in the morning, they would move out. or if it remained in the daytime and at night, whenever the cloud was lifted, they would set out. Verse 22. Whether it was 2 days or a month or a year that the cloud lingered over the tabernacle, staying above it, the sons of Israel remained camped and did not set out. But when it was lifted, they did set out. At the command of the Lord they camped, and at the command of the Lord they set out. They kept the Lord's charge, according to the command of the Lord through Moses. So you've got millions of people camping out, and once that cloud lifted, thousands of men had to take their assigned roles and pack up and move. It was quite the production, but God was testing their obedience and faithfulness while also carrying out his plan. And may he carry out his plan in our lives, and God bless you. Thanks for being here. Let's keep on keeping on. Take care.